It's Juva Threat Alexander, and this is the Purpose Conversation. The song playing is a song that I always say is kind of like my theme song. It is Raise Up by Lettucey, and it's all about purpose. And anyway, I'm so excited to be here with you guys this evening. I'm going to give everybody just a minute to get into the room. And for those live streaming on Facebook, let me say that I own no rights to this song. This song is by Lettucey, and it is called Raise Up. So no song rights, so don't shut off my live feed. For those watching via YouTube, hello, YouTube. It's so good to see you. And anyway, I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to get into the room. And y'all just bear with me a little while. I know it's been a while. It's been a minute since we've kind of been on and connected together. So I'm excited to be here tonight. We've had a lot going on, and I'm just closing out apps and stuff that I probably should have done just a little bit earlier. But anyway, I'm excited to see you guys, and I thank you so much for coming on. The Purpose Conversation is happening. We're having a conversation just a little bit earlier than we normally would. I've typically been having this around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's an hour earlier. We'll see how it goes because, of course, when I've had guests on, we would run over an hour or so, just kind of going with the flow and into it. So anyway, I just wanted to I just say again, welcome all of my purpose friends. I'm unsure who's on, but we are just going to go with the flow. It is June already. Isn't that like crazy? It is June already. It's like half of the year is gone over with. I think about the past year, everything that we've experienced just this past year alone. This is like, something else. So anyway, I am, like I said, I just wanted to welcome you guys to the Purpose Conversation. I'm adjusting a few different little things, so you guys just kind of bear with me. If you have any questions or anything like that during the time, make sure that you go ahead and you just come on in and ask some questions of me. I will be available, of course, to answer, and we'll kind of go from there. But anyway, all of my purpose friends, like I said, it's June. June is associated. We've had several things going on in June. First of all, June, let's say Happy Pride Month. Pride Month is here in June. I also want to say a happy belated Juneteenth. Yes, that June the 19th was June the 19th was Juneteenth. So I want to say, happy belated Juneteenth. I also want to say happy belated Father's Day to all the dads. Father's Day is always, it's been always a little tug at my heart. Of course, my dad is there in heaven. So, for those like me whose dad's in heaven, if your dad's, I hope that you were celebrated. And, but anyway, happy belated Father's Day. And you know what, guys? I have just one more thing to add to this month, and it's pretty cool. A year ago, for the first time, I held the first annual Purpose Experience. If you were friends with me a year ago, then of course you know that every time you turned around, I had information all about the Purpose Experience, It was a virtual experience because, of course, we were right smack in the dab middle of the whole pandemic. You think June of last year. So I had the Purpose Experience, and the Purpose Experience, what it was I connected with, I call them my purpose friends. So my purpose girlfriends here. I connected with them. They were actually some powerhouse and purpose-filled women. Of course, my theme is always the fact that, hey, I want to show you what purpose looks like. So I wanted you to be able to experience purpose. That was the whole gist of the whole purpose experience. So during that time, a year ago, I had Kathy and Jacynthia of Married and Having Fun podcast. They are absolutely phenomenal. You can find them on any of your podcast stations. It's called Married and Having Fun. And also I had Jessica Hill, who is the CEO of Sisters Building and Believing in Unity. Now, what Jessica, I want to say she may have one of the largest Facebook groups here on the platform. She may have one of the largest Facebook groups, but I also had Jessica Hill here. And I had also Miss Tonita Witherspoon, AKA Miss Vegas, y'all. If you are in Atlanta, then you may agree with the title that I have given her. I said that Miss Vegas is the hardest, and I mean the hardest working entrepreneur in the A. And I mean, she does everything from promotions to, I see that she has like a perfume line. Miss Vegas does it all. Models, absolutely phenomenal woman, beautiful, and just out there, just getting it. We also had all the way from California, my sister. Oh my goodness. I call her the self-confidence life coach. And she's also the creator of Self-Confidence Matters Facebook group. So for those of you that need just a little extra nudge, or you may be lacking in self-confidence a little bit. We all need self-confidence. Then Kelly Sweet is the person to look up. And once again, her group on Facebook is the Self-Confidence Matters. And then lastly, we had the multi-passionate trailblazer out of Florida, and also my branding specialist, Miss Udeline A. Deravines. And we had just a phenomenal time. All of the women, they spoke. We had, I don't even know how many women we actually had in attendance virtually, but it was several. We had giveaways, we had gifts, we had a good time, and we shared an afternoon together, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, what is really cool about the Purpose Experience is that the Purpose Experience, first of all, it exceeded all expectations, but it was the official launch of the Purpose Conversation, what you see today. Now, I must say that today I am absolutely excited and happy to say happy anniversary to the Purpose Conversation. Oh my goodness. Happy anniversary to the Purpose Conversation. And you know what? I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate than to actually have a Purpose Conversation. You know, it's been just a moment since you guys have seen me with the Purpose Conversation. And I know you've grown accustomed to the traditional interviews, which I absolutely love doing, because like I said, it's one thing to talk about purpose, and we're going to talk purpose, but to see people that are walking, breathing, and living in their purpose, and you know, it's exciting. And so that's why I do those. Through the past few shows, I have received absolutely mind-blowing feedback. You guys seem to really like it. You have sent me messages, and you know, I thank you so much for coming in. Lots and lots of you watch it on repeat, and you've been browsing through the Purpose Conversation Facebook page, and I thank you for doing that. But I've received mind-blowing feedback. You know, from those shows, people have made connections. We've definitely learned new things. We have learned about new music. We've learned about new artists. We've learned about businesses, services, or someone had a message. And so, you know, their businesses and everything, it's grown or it's been received. And so So for that, I am grateful. And I must say, I have a very nice problem now. My problem is that I have so many guests that are lined up, and I have several people that are always reaching out, asking now to be on the show. So I'm going to tell you now, this summer is going to be hot, and I don't mean just literally. So I'm going to refresh the room and see if I see anybody here. I see that there are some people that are on. So I want to say again, welcome to the Purpose Conversation. Thank you for taking time out of your day, your evening. I hope you are winding down and that your work day itself is over with. But tonight, I wanted to, in celebration of the Purpose Conversation, and with it being my 1-year anniversary, like I said, I just wanted to come on and have a conversation. We're going to talk purpose. Tonight's Purpose Conversation, it is geared towards my purpose friends, of course. Specifically though, those that I call purpose chasers and purpose pushers. I'm not going to be very long tonight, just dropping just a few nuggets, only because I haven't been in on a while, and I just kind of wanted to catch you up. But tonight's message, short and sweet, I am talking about those of you, or speaking to those of you who are absolutely serious about your purpose and you ain't playing around anymore. I'll say that again. This conversation tonight, it is for my purpose chasers and my purpose pushers. And again, I'm talking about those of you who are serious about your purpose and you're not playing around anymore. Now, the purpose chaser, this is the person who is, they're on a mission during this season of their lives to be and to do and to have all that God has assigned them to be and do. That's the bottom line. That is who that purpose chaser is. They are looking high and low. They are searching. You know how it is when you are searching for something, you are trying to figure some things out for yourself. And, it's really funny. I wish that I had, although I see it happening now to young people, they're in their 20s and 30s. I say all the time, man, I wish I would have just done this earlier in life. But I realized that, hey, it wasn't necessarily time. It wasn't time for me to do that then, because maybe I definitely know I had some growing to do. But to be able to connect and like, hey, I know that there's something better. I know that there's got to be more to life than this. I know that I'm not meant to just live and pay bills and die. You probably heard me say that before, but it's the truth. We weren't meant to just live and work yourself to the dog tired bones and have nothing fulfilling and die. Come on. We were created on purpose for a purpose. So the purpose chaser, those are the people that are actively chasing that purpose. They are in that season right now that they are chasing that purpose. Now, the purpose pusher. Now, granted, purpose itself is like, it's huge. It's huge. I think that's why God has allowed some of us to connect with being a purpose pusher. I definitely consider myself to be a purpose pusher. Now, those are the people that who know part of their purpose is to push others to do, as I always say, to seek, discover, and to pursue their purpose. Now, when God showed me that this was part of what he's called me to do, I was in awe of all of the women and the men who also connected to this. I mean, every time you turned around, it was purpose this and purpose that. And there were so many different avenues. That's why I say that I know that it's absolutely huge. No wonder you need so many purpose pushers, because purpose is just that important. And you need different people that are on assignment to go and to sometimes nudge you. You think about, sometimes you may not necessarily get into what it is that you will need to do, or get into that particular lane until you see somebody that's, kind of serving maybe as a mentor, nudging you along the way, getting you to think outside the box, getting you to realize that, hey, there's something better for you. What is it? Somebody that's meant to push you. So yeah, we have the purpose pusher. And like I said, it seemed like every time I turned around, there was somebody that was a purpose pusher that was like me. And the really cool part is that I had the privilege to personally to connect with some of those pushers, such as the purposepreneur herself, authoress Charmaine Bradbury. You guys may have remembered her from a previous show. And of course, I cannot forget Dr. Pat of the talk show, Living in Your Purpose with Dr. Pat. And as a matter of fact, now I know that the Purpose Conversation, we're a year old as of the 20th, but with Dr. Pat, I think I actually recorded the show with her June the 23rd, which is today. So I have a lot of celebration to go on that's going on as it relates to purpose. Now, because I am a purpose pusher, I'm forever going to be a purpose chaser. The two absolutely go hand in hand. As you know, or maybe you don't know, but for the last couple of months, I have not had a Purpose Conversation LiveCast. Think about it. You haven't necessarily seen it. I haven't had a Purpose Conversation LiveCast. And that has been on purpose. Primarily, I had to take some time and focus on me. I'm going to refresh the room a little bit because I see that I have a few comments, or I have some people that are watching. So give me just 1 second. And hey there, Cleve Bush. Hey there, Cleve Bush. Author Cleve Bush. You guys remember him. Thank you for joining. All right. So as I stated, on purpose, I haven't had a Purpose Conversation LiveCast. Primarily, I had to take some time to focus on me. While that sounds, a little selfish, here is the thing about pursuing purpose. When you're pursuing purpose, one must first seek God's face and get some wisdom and some answers. Come to know who they are, what they want, love on themselves, and be willing and ready to deal with some painful truths. And they, of course, they got to give themselves a little grace, because we miss the mark, and sometimes we're harder on ourselves. And then we have to step out on faith and simply do what you're called to do. I'm no exception. So tonight, going in that direction of my Purpose Conversation hiatus, there are just a few things that I learned or I revisited, and I'm going to share them with you in hopes that it will help my fellow purpose chasers and purpose pushers, because either you've experienced it, you're experiencing it, or you will experience it. So here are just some tips and some things that I kind of learned away during this hiatus of sort, just being with Juva. First of all, number one, you need to get quiet and fill up. You can call this prayer and meditation, alone time, seeking peace, or getting in God's face and getting quiet so that you can hear from him too. That's first and foremost. It's important, because I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a personal relationship with God, and I mean this, some people may say different or think different, and that's okay. But I'm talking to my purpose chasers and my purpose pushers. If you do not have a relationship with God, I can tell you right now, you will not be in tune to your purpose. You did not create yourself, and you don't have all the answers. I know I definitely don't. It's important that we get back to, or go back to, the source. Now, it may seem a little weird, but as of late, at least during the past couple of months that I have been on this hiatus, because right now I'm currently still working, remotely. The children are out of school, so they're here. And the house is just full. You got the dog, your house is busy. And it really seems like the only one-on-one time I'm able to kind of like really get with God and just kind of go back to him, it occurs when I am taking a shower. When I am taking a shower, I can sit there and blast praise and worship as loud as I want it. I can talk to him, and I'm talking. I can cry out to him. I can literally cry when I need to. I can just talk to him. And then I can sit back and I can be quiet. I can be still. And then I can hear from him. I even made it a point to keep like a journal handy. Of course, not in the shower with me, but I get out. I keep a journal and a pen. I keep a journal and a pen everywhere I go. But I'm able to keep a journal and a pen handy. And when I get out, I'll even make it a point to jot down that word, or jot down that idea, or that phrase, or whatever it is that he's given me during our one-on-one. And I'm going to tell you now, you absolutely will have to find that one-on-one time, if you don't have it already. Because you're going to have to find it, and you're going to have to find it on purpose, because I'm telling you, everything will tend to keep you from doing so. And you guys probably know that isn't a surprise. So you'll find that the people in your house, the pets, you'll find that you get sleepy, that you're busy. You can't find a quiet place. If you're like me, you can't really necessarily find a quiet place. And if you aren't currently doing this, I suggest that you do. Find the time and the place and stick to it. You don't have to be all long and drawn out and all winded and all of that. And you don't have to be all eloquent in your words, but just make the time. A conscious effort, make the time, and be consistent. Number 2, be aware of distractions. You will need to guard your time. Oh my gosh. Now, for me, and probably for you too, you cannot always say yes to everything and be there for everyone. Now, to some, this is easy. They have absolutely no problem saying, nope, I can't. Nope, I won't. No, they have absolutely no problem. But for me, saying no, it's always been like a challenge. Now, there are some things that we are simply not supposed to be involved with, even if it seems like really great things. But sometimes there are some things that we are not to be involved with, because it doesn't necessarily align with our specific purpose or our beliefs. And it is a distraction. I see Kelly Sweet. Hey there, Coach Kelly Sweet. She says, amen to that. It ain't no joke. You have to guard it. That's right. We have to absolutely guard our time. There's nothing like it. Now, during this time, another distraction that you'll probably see, or it could possibly be relationships. During this time, we have people that will come and people that will leave your life, and it's a distraction. While no one that I know of is ever cool with the death, unless it's somebody that has been very, very sickly and you've watched them suffer. But even in that, it's never cool to when there's death involved. And it seems real strange or odd that we'd say that was a distraction, but I'm saying because it stops you in your place. It stops you from doing what it is that that you were meant to be doing. But relationships, it could, like I said, it may not ever be cool with the dealing with a death, the end of a relationship, or maybe even a new relationship or friendship, but maybe it's someone or something that somebody you weren't necessarily being covenant with. So you've got to be very mindful, especially during this particular season. When I'm saying beware of distractions, sometimes we have to take a look at those relationships. When those relationships come and when they go, and when our loved ones are no longer physically here with us, and we're mourning, be mindful. It will be enough sometimes to absolutely feel as if it's going to take you out. But mourn, grieve, cry out, seek God. Oh my goodness, seek God for some peace. Some way, somehow, keep it moving. Your purpose is worth it. Now, maybe, just maybe your distraction is simply something we're indulging in right now. Social media, right? Oh my gosh. Now, social media has kind of become the norm. But I want you to think about something. You don't want your kids or your younger children to be on it all day. And, of course, we try to limit their use, especially when they're younger. And but we kind of got to do the same for ourselves. That 1,200 hours a week that we're using making 5,000 TikTok videos. I ain't calling no names or anything like that. But at least 1 hour of that day. I mean, we have 24 hours, at least 1 hour of that day. Maybe not even all at one time, 15 minutes here and there and there and there. But at least 1 hour a day can be used towards working on your personal projects and the things that connect you to your purpose. I dare you. Check your screen time on your devices. And I can guarantee you will be alarmed, possibly, and realize how much of a distraction social media can truly be. Or maybe social media isn't a problem for you, but maybe being a workaholic is. Now, I'm not talking about being a hard worker and somebody that's in there handling their business. They go hard, they do what they got to do. But I'm talking about taking the office home with you when that time could and should be better managed, and you spend it with your family and you spend it on your purpose. Now, while some jobs, hey, they truly care about you. They love you. You are their girl. You are their guy. They are all for you. They appreciate you. They appreciate your hard work. They appreciate you taking that work home, working on it all late and all this other stuff, and coming the next day and you're ready to go. They care about you and they appreciate you. They may even compensate you, pat you on the back, send you flowers and gifts and all this other stuff. But if you were to kick over right now, and Lord, I pray that doesn't happen to any of you guys, definitely. But if you were to kick over right now, your job, those on the job, they might be sad. They may send flowers. They may take up a collection. They may do a GoFundMe and all this other stuff. But you will be immediately replaced. You're replaceable. That's just a fact. Work at work. Create a balance. Being a workaholic, it is a major distraction. It's going to keep you from being that purpose chaser. And it's going to keep you from being a purpose pusher, because all you're doing is working. But we want to work towards something that truly, truly matters. And I can't necessarily say what your purpose is, but like I said, I'm pretty sure he created us to do more than to live, to work, pay bills, and die. I want to refresh the room a little bit and say hello to all of the other people that I see that are coming on now. And hello to you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you. I am getting ready to go over just a couple more tidbits that I have learned while on this Purpose Conversation hiatus of mine for the past couple of months. But I'm going to share it. I'm going to continue here. Now, number 3. Now, this one, I'll be honest, I feel some kind of way saying it. It is, and I think it's probably the former, and I say former, the former people-pleasing mentality that is trying to come up against me. But right now in this season, don't worry about what others say or think about you. Do you, boo. Don't worry about what other people think or say about you. Do you. I recently had some words, my own words, kind of thrown back at me. You know how sometimes that happens. But when the words came back to me that I had said about myself, it was said in a way that it was almost tempting to allow it to just really bother me. And it did bother me for, maybe a couple days, and I had time to sit back. But the words that I've said, it was like, about me becoming or getting into my selfish and unapologetic mode, but I understand. And the only thing that my mind could think of at the time, and I know that sounds horrible, right? But the only thing I could think about at the time is that you said the word but, and the word but just cancels everything out. Now, to hear the words being selfish and unapologetically taken kind of in a different direction than what it is that I know that I normally mean it, it was tempting. I was tempted to allow it to really just kind of bother me. Now, I often say that I have no choice in my life, especially right now, but to be selfish for a moment and to think about me. I have spent years, and I mean years, putting the concerns of others and the weight, literally the weight of the world on my own shoulders. Pouring out so much. Pouring out so much to the point that it was making me sick physically. I had to be selfish with me. And the unapologetic part, well, let's just say that I'm going to be unapologetically me. I have quirks. I have flaws. I may dress different, talk different, and definitely probably express myself differently. I'm me. I don't want to be anybody else. I can't be anybody else. and I won't try to emulate anybody else. I'm me, unapologetically. And there is no one on this earth who has your purpose. Purpose chasers and purpose pushers. There's no one on this earth who has your purpose. Although many may be connected, they do similar things. Do not allow what others think or say about you to deter you. Your purpose is yours, and guard it at all costs. Guard it. Everyone isn't going to be on board, and that's because they aren't meant to connect with it as it relates to your purpose and the things that you're called to do. And that's totally okay. Someone told me a long time ago, I was a part of P3, and P3 was Purpose, Promise, Passion. It was a women's group. And so basically what we did was we talked about purpose. We walked purpose. We breathed purpose. It was a fellowship type of group. We'd go out into the communities. We'd do different things. And, but anyway, when I started the particular group in Georgia, it was originated in Florida. I started a Georgia chapter. And one of my girlfriends, who I hope to have on the Purpose Conversation one day, as a matter of fact, she told me, she says, I was like, are you going to be there? And she says, of course I'm going to be there. Nobody does ministry alone. God will connect you to those to whom you are to be connected with, period. Many times people might be saying negative things because they aren't connected, and that's okay. But sometimes, and I have to say this because like I said, you're going to experience, if you're not already, sometimes some may be secretly envious. So they will think and say the worst. And you know what? Sometimes we, the purpose chasers and the purpose pushers, we're the ones making it worse because we're telling them all of our daggone business. Sometimes, sometimes you may not need to share everything with those who you even have the inkling, the slightest little that they are not fully vested in your purpose or your vision. And it's okay. And it doesn't matter who that person is, your sister, your spouse, or even your mother. Not my mama, because I tell her everything, but you know what I mean. Seriously though, you have to be mindful because people will, say some things. But as stated before, I don't want you to worry about what other people think or say about you. Do you boo? And lastly, we're going to wrap this up a little bit. Lastly, be mindful of what you receive. I'm going to say that again because I want it to sink in. Be mindful of what you receive as truth, what you receive, because it may not align to your purpose and it will get you off track. Now, because I am a Christian, I surround myself with other believers. Sometimes just because someone is a believer like you does not mean they are qualified to speak over you. Sometimes you will realize that some people, not saying all people, some people are actually dabbling in religion versus relationship. And I'm sure you know that is a totally different conversation altogether for another day. Not only that, these people, they will behave as if you don't know God and the word of God for yourself. And sometimes, you might be tempted to be offended. But, don't get it misconstrued. I'm not speaking of seeking wise counsel, because that's someone that knows more than you do. And you know for a fact that they are truly pouring into you. Oh my gosh. And they're pouring into you with everything they have. I'm talking about some of those who might say things such as, well, God, the Lord told me this, or God told me that. And I'm not to say who am I to say who's heard from God or whatever. I can't tell you what you done heard or not. You may very well have. Or, they may not necessarily be hearing from God, or it may not necessarily apply to you. But what I've realized is sometimes it comes across as a form of manipulation to get you to do what he or she wants you to do. And I'm sharing this with you because in this season, my purpose pushers and my purpose chasers, you absolutely do not have time for any of that. So you need to be very mindful as to what you are receiving, because it can very well delay you in your journey. Okay, people, so I'm going to refresh the room just one more time. I'm going to say a few hellos, answer or read any comments you might have. And like I said, I thank you so much for being able to come in and join me. And I see that we have had several different people to say all kinds of things. A few of amens here. And yeah, several people have come in. Thank you so much for joining in. I greatly appreciate you guys. I want to thank you for joining me tonight as I share with my fellow purpose friends, purpose chasers, and purpose pushers. I'm going to ask that you actually join me again this coming Sunday, June the 27th, at the same time. I think we're going to go with 7 p.m. I'm going to have a personal friend of mine in the building. He is an author. His name is Jerry Tatum Jr. Author Jerry Tatum Jr. We are going to discuss his books, his project, and his really cool and brand newly released children's book. Now, you guys know that I'm all about writing and editing and all of that good stuff. And it is summertime. So I hope you are doing a little summer reading. If not, challenge yourself. Read a book. Reading is fundamental. Read a book. But over the next few months, you will see that I'm going to have several authors, different types of writers, entertainers, of course, entrepreneurs, and other creatives throughout the next few months, because I want you to continue to see what purpose looks like. And we'll pop in and we'll have a purpose conversation one-on-one just like this a few more times. But you all are the best. I thank you so much for your love and your continued support of the Purpose Conversation. If you know of anyone that you think would be a great guest for the Purpose Conversation, connect with me and just kind of let me know. You may leave me a message on the Purpose Conversation Facebook page, or you may send an email directly to me. It's Juva, Juva, Threat, spelled just like threat, Alexander @gmail.com. That's Juva Threat Alexander @gmail.com. Once again, happy anniversary to the Purpose Conversation. And as always, I want you guys to have a great remainder of your week. May you continue to seek, discover, and to pursue your purpose. Thank you. God willing, I'll see you on Sunday.